Everyone brings something unique to the table, ideas that deserve to be considered, valued, and heard, especially when working in a team. In engineering, consensus decision-making is when a group of people come to an agreement that takes each member's ideas and opinions into account, without excluding an individual or minority. Rather than simply voting on a popular opinion where only the majority of people are satisfied, consensus decision-making involves reaching an agreement that satisfies everyone in a group. Effective teams strive for consensus decision-making for several reasons. This method allows members to share power and find solutions that meet each person's needs. It also helps establish a community of respect, where people can be open and honest about their ideas. In general, consensus decision-making can lead to more creative and effective solutions, where the best ideas are combined and no individual has to compromise too much. Instead of ignoring minorities, consensus involves a process where all members must be addressed. When everyone can agree on a decision, it makes getting things done much easier. Consensus decision-making is especially vital when employed among teams of engineers. Engineering is not a job that can be done solo. When it comes to building bridges, developing computer systems, and designing rockets, engineers often work in diverse teams where everyone has a unique role or expertise. One member might be a math whiz, while another might specialize in chemistry and another in computer coding. It can be difficult to agree on a course of action when each team member has a different priority. However, engineering teams cannot be successful unless each person's ideas are taken into consideration while working towards a solution. If you were on a team tasked with constructing a building and you are in charge of electricity, your role is just as vital to the building as the person in charge of creating the floor plan. Each job is essential to the formation of the building in its own way, and therefore must be considered equally. So, how can a group successfully come to a consensus? Before discussing how a group might go about reaching a consensus, there are a few conditions that must first be satisfied. All members of the team must share a common goal and be willing to put in the work to find a creative solution. It is very difficult to reach a decision that everyone is satisfied with if some members take on opposing positions. Each member of the group must be committed to finding a consensus. This means each person must be willing to share their honest opinion and not get swayed into simply agreeing with the majority. Everyone must be open to compromise. And finally, each member must actively participate in the decision-making process. Now that we know the conditions that make consensus decision-making possible, we can jump into the logistics. First, a team must introduce and clarify an issue so that members can more easily work their way towards a solution. Then, each member must openly discuss their ideas and share their opinions. This will lead into a broader discussion about the possible solutions to the problem, as well as the pros and cons of each potential course of action. Once each option is explored, the team can form a rough proposal that attempts to meet each member's needs. From there, the proposal must be tested for agreement. Does anyone oppose any aspect of the potential solution? Does anyone have any reservations? If the answer is yes, the proposal will be amended and brought back to the floor. Do we have a consensus? Only when everyone is satisfied with the proposal can the team begin to plan out how to successfully implement their solution. So remember, effective teams employ consensus decision-making so that all members can be heard and all ideas can be valued. It can only be successful if each team member shares a common goal and is willing to compromise so long as it also satisfies their needs. And finally, a consensus can only be reached if each team member is open and honest about their ideas and opinions, and is also willing to listen to the other members within their group. Good luck putting these steps into action with your team.